Greetings everyone, welcome back to my sketchbook. In the last video, I was playing around with this thing here and how I'm not really a fan of suggested builds when it comes to these little kits, and this is what I did instead, is I used every piece that came with it to make that. I'm just going to remove the skeleton from that because I think I'm going to try something a little different. Now, let's set that there for a moment. I'm going to rebuild our friend here, which isn't a complicated thing, of course. And put him on a base. Now, he's not going to stand very nicely there. I'm just going to set him off to one side. And I have this, which is one of those McDonald's Minecraft movie toys. And this is what their version of skeleton looks like. And this is the action that it has. Anyway, that to me is funny. I'm going to try to do a version of skeleton. Well, maybe not the entire thing, but maybe just the head of skeleton. I don't know. We'll just see what happens. I'm going to open up the inkwell here and maybe ramble on a little bit. Now, you would have heard me say that I probably like the skeleton, the mob, probably more than the rest of them. I don't know. I just kind of think that they're funny. So let's see here. With this, just because it's a doodle, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here first. See if it'll focus on something like my finger. Okay. I'm going to start with its eyes first. I'm going to try to get the spacing roughed in. So the head, as you would know, is 8 by 8. So if that's roughly a little square there, so 1, 2 for the eye, then 2 for the space, another 2 for the eye, down here for the nose. It takes up 2 spaces. You could actually make the grid pattern, I suppose, but I'm just kind of roughing this in. And then the mouth would go all the way across the eye width on both sides. If you have a pencil, of course, that's fine. So roughly that. And then you'd have a space that's roughly 1 width, sort of like that, on either side. And then down below, roughly 1 width. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to double this length here. 1, 2, 3, 4, roughly. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll connect these. So that's roughly what we're working with. So here's the idea. I'm going to try to, it's not going to be realistic, but I think that what I'm wanting to do anyway, just for my own sake, is use the space that it has to make it seem a little bit more like it belongs in our world. Some sort of like other dimensions to it, I guess. So I'm going to try to finish the eye sockets and the cheekbones and that sort of thing. Figure out what I want to do with the jaw too. Yeah. Because this is kind of neat. It has a bit of an underbite. But I want to kind of stick to what we have going on. Like I said, this is just an idea. And the bottom row of teeth are generally not as wide as the top row. So I won't give him too much of an underbite. Working the gum line a little bit, although, you know, he's a skeleton, so his teeth would be floating pretty much without flesh to keep them in place. Which is an interesting thought. We'll put in a groove for the chin as well. We'll add little curves in just for fun. Letting the outside stay square for the most part. Now let's see. This will be kind of interesting, I think. I'm going to dip the pen here. Now it's funny to me to think about how everybody was so excited about Chicken Jockey. I think that it's kind of, well, a little bit interesting that skeletons are spider jockeys. I don't know why that wasn't so much more of a thing. But oh well. It's only because I like the skeletons. Now, let's see, what do I want with the eyes? I want them to be kind of sinister. But I like the idea of them kind of being sarcastic too. Just kind of scratching in the temple. And then I'll darken in some of the stuff after. Okay, that's roughly it. Now, let's see if I can make this a little bit cleaner. Define some of the lines anyway. Something that's kind of fun to do is look at some of the things around your home and just think, I wonder what that would look like one way or another. Let's say if you have cool collectible cars, you know, what some graphics would look like on that. And of course, you can do that in your sketchbook. You don't have to change the actual car. Or if you have like Lego figures, you can see what they would look like if a villain or hero changed roles. For some reason, most comic book companies, they've already done different versions of that. So if you want to see a Bizarro Superman, that already exists. Or one that's gone too far, like Injustice, that already exists. You want to see a bad Batman? Yeah, you can definitely see that. Or a good Joker. The idea of that's kind of interesting. So if you were into Scooby-Doo, you know what? I don't think I've ever seen a bad version of Scooby-Doo. That could be something. I think I saw an episode where you could make out what he said perfectly. Maybe I'm wrong about that. And it turns out that, you know, he just wasn't that into snacks for that episode too, and Shaggy was kind of brokenhearted. Does that seem familiar? Maybe I'm the only person that kind of remembers something like that. Maybe I was just hoping. The nasal cavity here is a little bit much, what I got going on. I mean, you spend 15 minutes on something, well, it's kind of gets a little extreme. Darken that in a little bit. It's funny to me that skeletons are afraid of wolves. Now, and dogs, I guess, too, because, you know, there's a tendency for dogs and wolves to play with bones or chew on them or bury them somewhere. So perhaps the reason why, huh? So this is a square looking skull still, all within the confines of, well, kind of. But you saw where we started. Right here, I'm just going to say that this is a ooh, that looked like Minecraft. Minecraft. Put a little fancy whoop-de-doo there. Dot over the I. Minecraft. We'll write in a skeleton. And that it would be 8 by 8 skull. Well, yeah, I don't think we need to go that much further than that for that. It's just the idea of what we were expecting or not expecting. I think because the mouth, that won't, let's see, mouth is darkened in. So maybe we should kind of do the same with this. See what we can do with the teeth. Okay. So we'll just add a little bit of like shading, like it's set back a little bit. Or they've been eating chocolate cake. There's some quick scratches. We'll do the bottom row a little bit more. Not perfect, but as far as how that blockhead kind of goes, do another little outline there. Darken in the eyes just a little bit in those corners. All right, well, I think that's all we need. Nothing too complicated. And yeah, it's kind of fun to revisit the world of Minecraft just for fun once again. And what an interesting thing it is, this Lego figure. All right, folks, thanks for hanging out. Hopefully we see you at some point in the near future. All right, ciao for now.